That's what I just said. Like, where's we all have different lines of what very disrespectful is, right? When you're with somebody and you love them, like they're and it's a healthy relationship. Now, we're not talking about unhealthy relationships. We're not talking about people that you shouldn't be with to begin with. But we are still human at the end of the day, right? You're human. As women, we need to take accountability for what we do wrong, and our men are human as well. Just because they're in a leadership role doesn't mean that they're freaking robots and that they can't mess up. But just because they're not robots and they're not perfect does not mean that their respect level should falter or should go down based on the day. Oh, you buying me gifts today? It's gonna raise. Oh, you don't want to talk to me? You don't want to be lovey dovey with me? Oh, it's gonna go down until you act right. That's out of order. It's out
Fact.
of order.
All facts.
Go ahead, Perry.
And it's only one thing that I challenged Casey on because everything else that she said was like spot on. And I know we keep speaking from a husband, wife point of view, but I got a man. I got a lovely boyfriend, lovely black man. I don't care how mad I get. I watch what I say to him. Even when your relationship is unhealthy, even if this is somebody you feel like you should not be with, watch what you say to that man. Because
So what are you challenging me on? What do you disagree with me on? That's what I'm saying.
That part, the part where you said I'm not talking about somebody that you shouldn't be with. I'm saying.
Oh, you saying regardless?
Oh no, I feel the same way. What I'm saying is, if you feel that somebody is disrespecting you to the point that you feel you gotta fight and argue and literally go to the end of the earth, you should walk away. It shouldn't be an up and down of I'm gonna respect you based on how you are self-regulated. In a relationship, you only control yourself. You only can walk away with your behavior. Yes, your behavior, nor your accountability.
So even with that, it's like people can hurt your feelings. I just do not believe you should allow anybody to have that much control over you. Even in a relationship, you keep your identity. You keep who you are at your core. And that is also strength. Because a lot of times
I agree.
Women and I can only speak for women. We get into these relationships with these men and we overextend ourselves and we become bitter and resentful in the process. And everybody got to pay for it and your mouth get reckless. But if you truly are a woman who is in your own core, a nurturer, a soft person, you gentle, you want to give love in the most expressive way, you don't let no man bring you out of it. It's never worth it to me. It's never worth it for a man to see me so broken and bitter because I gave him that much power. I've done it before. I'm speaking from experience that I won't ever do it again. I watch how I maneuver in my current relationship because of the fact, not only do I have a lot of respect for him, but it's also giving back. However, I'm very cautious of things that may be going on with him as to why he responded that way. I can't think for just me no more.
But this is the thing, like, so when it comes to children, and I completely agree, you Paris, like women pick and choose when they're gonna be this dutiful person, right? When it comes to being a mother, I don't know why women hold wifehood and motherhood at like two different scales when it comes to duty, right? If your child is acting up as a 5-year-old, or let's go down to a 3-year-old, you know that child is a human being with emotions and feelings and everything else. If that child is pissing you off and acting a fool, if you are a woman of stature and respect and duty, and you are a good mother, you're not gonna not feed your 3-year-old because they pissed you off. You're not gonna not wash their clothes, and you're not gonna not put them into a warm bed. You're not gonna make them sleep on the floor or deny them of your love as a mother because they pissed you off or they make you mad or they're disgusting, right? Like kids have all different type of moods and will do whatever. If you're 15-year-old, your daughter's going to prom and you promised her hair and makeup and nails and the dress she want, because y'all get into an argument or she acting up, like, and y'all get into a little tiff as mommy and daughter, you're not gonna shut down her whole prom experience as her mother because she pissed you off if you're a good mother, right? You're not gonna do that. So the same should be with holding that duty when it comes to wifehood. You have a role to play in your home. That role does not shut off. It's the
Right.
same as it's the exact same as motherhood. You have a role to play in your children's life, and you have a role to play in your husband's life, just like you have, or your man's life. It doesn't have to be your husband, just as you have a role to play at your job. So you know you can't take your hat off at your job or your career and be, oh, I don't want to be a nurse today. You know what? I'm gonna be a tech. I'm gonna be an X-ray tech. I'm gonna do something else. You know you can't take that hat off. You went to school, you didn't work, you didn't grind it. You are who you say you are. So the same should be in your household. Just because you're having a bad day or it's hard times, you have to deal with that situation based on what your duty is in that role. You got to fight through it. You got to grow up. And a lot of
And,
times it comes with not being selfish, right? And also accountability and what part you play in the dysfunction or the issue.
and
This is
that's
a
the
great,
reason why
this is a great conversation. We
Go ahead.
gotta get the other people in there, and then we can circle back around and finalize it. Go ahead, Trev. Let me get Trev in there. Then we go to Marcus. Hey, Precious, did you go? Okay, yeah, we got Precious, Trev, and Marcus. Let's make sure we get them.
Shonda
in.
didn't go either.
Well, then, Sean?
If it comes back around, I want to hit on a little bit more of that.
Okay. All right, we go to Trev, Precious, then Marcus. Then can flip back around to Sean.
Yeah. Earlier, Nika definitely mentioned a word that makes a lot of sense, and it's respect. I would also add another word, value. Now, that's what it all boils down to. A woman who talks to you like you're not a king doesn't respect you and doesn't value you. That's just period, right? And a lot of times we give women grace because we say, oh, well, you know, she might be going through something, or she's, hormonal or whatever, especially during the week. But you know what? When she has to go to work, if she drops a client, drops a customer, doesn't come to work the way she should, or something else is wrong, she can't talk to people in the same manner that she would talk to that king. It's unacceptable under any circumstances. There's no point where she wouldn't be held accountable for it. So why would we give her any grace when it comes to a relationship? It's no different. She's able to manage her emotions, control her hormones. Everything's in check when she's in a professional world. But she's allowed to do this in a relationship, and we're supposed to understand every part of that. I don't understand that part because you know how to control it. I know a lot of women who are professional, right? They'll go home and tear it up. They go to work, they put their face on. You know why? Because they value that job. They value that position. They love that money, right? They love that position. They respect that position. They respect their boss's authority. But they don't care when it comes down to their mans. And that's the problem I have with this. So, yeah, it's inexcusable, and I'll land it there.
So I believe you should always talk to your man like a king. I always say on my platform that women, the first thing that we have to get under control is our mouths. I always say that because it's true. We are emotional. That was said on the panel, right? We're emotional. And so is it right to tell someone who's emotional not to be emotional? I don't know if that's a correct statement, but if you know that you are emotional, then you should be in control of your emotions. That's something that we as women have to get under control. And it's no one else's responsibility but ours. And that starts at home. So, I didn't see my mother disrespecting my father. I didn't see my mother raising her voice at my father. I saw my mother respecting his decisions, even when she didn't like it. And that just comes from the biblical background that I come from. If you can't speak to your man like a king, you need to go to the king. You need to go to God. You're not going to your friends. You're not going to, your other single girls that don't have the same predicament as you. You're going, like Casey said, in silence. My parents always say, you don't know what to do, be still. Don't say nothing, don't do nothing. Go to God, go pray. Go find your little corner where you can meditate on what's going on, where you can close your mouth, where you can kind of ponder on what's going on. We have to watch our mouths. We have to watch how we speak to men. It's called respect, like Trev was saying. Men count love as respect. That's how they are loved. Women want to give gifts. Women want to have sex. Women want to, do all the things except for, be quiet or apologize or say, you know what, I was wrong for that. I shouldn't have came at you like that. I was wrong. We don't want to catch ourselves. Where we get that spirit of trying to come back, or that rebellious spirit, to me, it goes back to the garden. Eve was the devil don't like family, right? So if you can't speak to your man like a king, that means there is doubt. There is something trying to pierce into your garden to tell you that that's not what you're supposed to be doing, when you know that's what you're supposed to be doing. And we as women know that that's what we're supposed to be doing, and then get mad when the man leave, or get mad when the man don't want to talk or don't want to be bothered. It's because we know that we're supposed to have our emotions under control. We know that we're not supposed to be talking to him crazy. We know that. We know this as women. We know we're not supposed to be doing it to anyone, but yet we want to insert our 2 cents. Yet we want to have the comeback. Yet we want to have the last word, thinking that that's going to solve, or that's going to put him in his place. When you go to counseling, they always tell you, don't hit below the belt. Don't fight unfair. These are all things that we as women have to get underneath the control. And if that means that you have to go seek help, if that means you have to go seek wise counsel from people who are there, who have gone through it, are knee deep in their marriages, who have gone through struggles, especially women. We don't like to go to other women because we feel like, oh, well, what she know, or you have this complex, or you don't want to ask for help. And that's exactly what they're there for. People like Casey, who have been married, that say, hey, look, we have strong figures in the family. I've had examples to show me. And then you go through your own situations where it's like, I see what Auntie was saying, or I see what, my mom was saying, or you replicate that. Those who grow up in homes that are hostile usually replicate that in their relationships. I didn't grow up in hostility. I grew up in peace. Okay. So if you want peace, that's what you're going to display. And that's what that you have to work on as well. So women have to be honest with themselves to say, if I'm not speaking to him like a king, how am I speaking to him? And I have to reevaluate how I'm speaking to him. So I think it's a lot of self-reflection and a lot of gathering yourself. And I forget who said it, but you shouldn't be married if you don't know how to watch your mouth.
I said it.
You shouldn't be married if you don't know how to watch your mouth, because we are called to help our men. So if the way that you speak to him is not helping him, then it's hindering him.